We're at a point in time right now in history that's just amazing. And I'll go back to what you were talking about. This Trump movement and now this Brexit movement, and of course now they're talking about a Texit, which is highly unlikely, but still we're talking about it. People are waking up. There's a great awakening. You know, we thought it would happen spiritually, but it's interesting. It's actually happening politically. People are realizing their country has been stolen. More and more you hear in the common vernacular about a world government, about a world economy. And these are the people.
One of the heads of the CFR came out today and said, okay, we are an elite. It is world government. We need to have a war of the elite against the people. He actually said that. I mean, he said, we're losing. The populists are taking over. We're in trouble.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, to openly be able to speak about it, people talk about Trump has given us permission to talk about politically incorrect things. Well, he's given us permission to do some other things too. And he set an example for all of us. We can now talk about world government and world economy without being ridiculed or being ostracized. We have permission to talk about it. The elite are doing it. They're open about it. So we can now talk about it too. And if we can get that into the vocabulary, we can get people to actually logically talk about this and say, look, if there's going to be a world government, what's it going to look like? Well, it's not going to be very pretty. It's going to be totalitarian. It's going to take away our sovereignty as individuals. In Europe right now, and I go there a lot, my company is in all the countries of Europe, there is a parliament there with the European Union that is inhabited by unelected, unaccountable people, a group of bureaucrats that are dictating to the Brits, up until now, you know, who was it they were going to let in their country.
And Obama's meeting in Canada with the three leaders of Mexico and Canada, and the Mexican president just called for an American Union, which is already really in place. Yeah. And as you said, the European delegations there meeting in secret, they've already formed it.
Well, you know, these movements, whether they're regional, like the North American Union, or whether they're worldwide, which would be, you know, the Euro situation and all this, as they want us to move there, it means we relinquish our sovereignty. It means that we lose the accountability of the people that represent us. That is totalitarian. And that's what they have in mind. So the American people, if they care about their sovereignty, need to stand against these movements for North American unions, for European unions, for...
Exactly. So what happens now that the patriots, you know, everybody from Chuck Norris to yourself to myself have been proven totally right? What happens now? I'm going to skip this break. Last one I'm skipping today. I mean, what happens now?
Well, first of all, we have got to take advantage of this opportunity. We've got to talk to our friends, our family, and we don't have to look like nuts anymore talking about this, you know, these elite.
In fact, we can be authoritative and say, we were proven right. Listen, you need to get on the bandwagon to save, you know, human sovereignty.
Yeah. And this is a last chance for freedom. And if we care about freedom, we now have to wake up, start talking, and all we have to do is point to what the elites are saying. You know, Obama talks about world government in his speech, and he goes to...
What about that paradox where they all admit world government, they admit it's tyrannical, but then they have media say we're crazy, it doesn't exist? I don't get that paradox.
Well, that's just it. The media can't get away with it anymore because it has become part of our common vernacular. Thanks to Trump, thanks to the elite themselves, who now are blatantly talking about it.
And thanks to Drudge. Drudge has really helped mainline it.
Yeah, Drudge has been great.
Well, he's forced the media to not be able to ignore it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're living in really exciting times. And I tell you what, thanks to you, too. You have been, you know, a lone voice, you know, out there for a long time. And it's funny, mainstream is catching up to you now. So congratulations on that.
Well, look, all I want is, like you said, I feel driven. I instinctively or spiritually.
Yeah.
It's like as they turn the heat up, the stronger they get. It's like automatically, it's for every action, opposite equal reaction. Mm-hmm. God, whatever, just gives me the insight, the understanding, the power to resist it. But then it's the opposite of a power trip. It's very humbling to sit there, and as they up their power against us, God ups our power, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the discernment, the understanding, it's like, man, this is hard to handle. I mean, I don't people understand the spiritual journey of the gifts God can give you and the things. It's really scary, actually.
Yeah, and you know, people have to realize this isn't a political battle. It's a spiritual battle. The elite of the elite are Satanists. They're Illuminati. They have a God, and it's not our God. And that's the ultimate battle. And the Bible talks about it. You know, in these end times, you know, Satan was going to be given his authority, and it's our job is children of the true king to stand up and do battle. And that's a great privilege for us. We get to be able to do battle with the ultimate enemy. And that's the times we're in right now.
ABC News, all of them say, of course everyone is going to have a microchip. They actually have anchors go, nationally, we played the clip like 10 times, of course you're all getting chips now. I mean, and when things collapse, you've got to have a chip. So clearly they're going to try to bring all this in. But if you read Revelations and look at it from your deep research, when do you think it's actually coming in? Who do you think it might be? How do you think it's going to manifest? When it talks about he only rules 1 year, I know some of that can be allegory or kind of a parable. Just Christ said, this isn't for them, the profane, it's for you. I mean, how long do you think, as a discerning, smart guy, Gary Haven, that this is going to go on for?
Yeah, and I'm pretty biblically literate. So I get, it's kind of neat. You get to...
Sure, but I don't want to just hear from some preacher who's been on his little seminary, a guy that's successful in the world, stood up against evil. I want your perspective.
Well, I get to really compare my perspective to the biblical, and doing business in all these countries is kind of a neat, it's almost like you get to verify it spiritually. I think that the Trump movement is going to accelerate the timetable. They had Hillary as a shoe-in. She was just going to carry on the global program and continue to diminish our freedoms. Let me take a sidetrack on this TPP thing, this Trans-Pacific Partnership. Trump came out about that this week in a very big way.
But that's okay if it's a foreign group taking over, because they had rapper guys say it was fun.
Yeah.
It's okay because cool people said it was cool. Yeah, it's cool to have foreigners run everything and screw us. Yeah.
Well, here's the real problem with the TPP. It isn't just the jobs that are going to be transferred overseas, which is kind of the main headline on it. There's something more insidious about it. It's sovereignty. And I think you and I've talked about this in the past. There's a tribunal that works for the TPP. It's made up of 3 corporate attorneys. And when a company loses profit as a result of something a sovereign state or nation did. I'll give you an example. When Australia made them put these horrible pictures on tobacco products, okay? Well, Philip Morris can go to the TPP tribunal, which I love that word, and say,
and make them pay for the losses.
And say, we've had losses here, and that's all they have to do.
And that's in there.
That's exactly right. And
hey, Australia should be able to put whatever it wants on the damn cigarette pack.
Well, not if you sign off on the TPP.
Not if you're down with TPP.
Same thing with Texas. Texas is going to have a problem with a number of things. GMOs, okay? A lot of countries don't want the GMOs, Europe in particular. Well, it doesn't matter what the sovereign nation or state wants under the TPP.
In fact, that's the big one. They actually have said in those sections exactly that it could be billions per year per country. Like if Russia doesn't accept GMO, they want to be the world leader in organic. Wow, imagine having a leader like that. Say what you want about Putin, that's a pretty good idea.
So these idiots who want the TPP and these are, I'm talking about establishment Republicans here, not just the Democrats. And we have to realize the establishment Republicans are bought and paid for. Well, these idiots want to give up our sovereignty as Texans,
I think they're traitors, is what they are.
Yes, they are traitors. And the TPP,
you see them as idiots, but you're not a traitor. You just innately wouldn't want to screw somebody over.
Well, I happen to like my freedom, and I have to believe that sovereignty is the only thing that we have against authority. I'm proud to be a Texan. I'm proud to have a governor that makes an effort to defend us against the overreach of a federal government. But TPP does away with that because that tribunal then has absolute authority. Our state, our country cannot appeal. And when they find that we owe billions of dollars as a consequence of our legislation, they then collect the money. And there's nothing we can do to prevent.
Oh, but it's okay. 3 secret lawyers. They kept it secret for years.
Yep.
We don't get to vote on it. It's okay. It's liberal. I mean, Obama was there with cool guys in jazz outfits with Jimmy Fallon. In fact, can we play that clip again? And by the way, the few times I play clips from the Late Late Show or any of these shows, they hit us with a copyright thing and threaten us and try to shut our channels down on YouTube and you name it. I'm putting them on notice here. This is fair use. You're pushing propaganda on entertainment shows with the president. I have a right to critique that and analyze it and speak to it. I don't want to air your stuff because it's so cool. We get an audience from it. I want to show Benedict Arnold, collaborator, traitors, making it cool to have a secret multinational take over everything. In fact, one admission they said from an earlier court case with the WTO, they cited, as you know, in these filings was there was old local city-run hospitals in this one area of Western Europe. I think it was Switzerland, actually. And so they wanted to sue them, even though they weren't signatories to it, because they were going to build more of those hospitals, and multinationals said, well, we can't then come in and build our own hospitals because you're competing with us.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, well, that's good. That's privatization. No, privatization isn't come in and shut down our infrastructure and then just claim we have to pay you because we already had infrastructure.
No, it's not.
Well, plus, it's an outside group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's play this bizarre, and again, people think I'm attacking Fallon. He's a talented, smart guy. I've seen clips that are funny. Okay, I don't really watch a lot of mainstream TV, but the point is he's always got Obama on, pushing, taking our guns, opening our borders up, making stuff cute. This is like having a Frenchman on French TV a month before Hitler invades in 1941 saying, I like Hitler. We should have him run things. He's a nice guy. Are you down with Hitler? Yeah, you know me. I mean, it's that crazy. I take it very personal that they act like this treason is so cute. This is how they get it under the radar. Here it is.
That being said, the American people face an important decision this fall. The entire world is watching, and they look to us for stability and leadership. Now, I know some of the presidential candidates have been critical of my foreign policy.
You're supposed to pay money if you run an ad, and then go to the Federal Elections Commission.
But I
he can get up there and
believe it is of the utmost importance to work alongside other world leaders. That's why I signed the Iran nuclear deal.
It's a total screw
That's why
job.
we reopened diplomatic ties with Cuba. And that's why I negotiated the new trade deal called the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP.
Now hold on there, Press Dispenser.
You know, they need to put a disclaimer there.
This is government propaganda.
Paid spokesman.
Yeah, you know me. Other people's property.
Yep. So let me answer your question. I didn't get to the full answer there. So I think things are accelerating right now. You have a number of events. We're going to have an economic crash by design. You know, they've borrowed and spent and borrowed. And
they've done it all over the world. This thing's, yeah.
Oh, worse than anytime in history.
When do you think it's coming? As a guy that's proven with money, you're a smart guy from nothing, making billions of dollars. What do you think they're going to do?
Well, I'm going to have to give you a bilateral answer here. Because Trump is such a threat to the status quo,
they might wait.
I think they may wait till his election is
and
imminent.
then blame him.
Then they undermine him by crashing the economy.
That's what I think. Yeah.
If he wasn't winning, then they would wait because Hillary is going to continue on down the road.
So it may accelerate him getting in.
Right. I think a lot of things are accelerating.
Because they see populism growing, they want to nip it in the bud and make us dependent and go, oh, buyer's remorse, see globalism. You were against globalism, but now you're on the street. Yeah. Oh, come back to us, we'll take care of you.
Which is a theme. You know, the theme of all communists is safety and prosperity. Okay, that's what they tout all the time. Now, when there's an economic crash, it's an opportunity to go cashless. And this is where the chip comes in. This is where the market.
They've got to bring down the old system to bring in the new. Yeah. And if you just take the chip or the new biometric ID, we'll get you the card. You'll get your money out of the bank, ma'am. But you can't do it until you go to the new digital SDR. Yeah. Let's talk about that with Gary Heben, a smart cookie. AmeriGettingTheMovie.com, back in theaters coming up next week. Stay with us. But I look at the globalists who are so evil and so out to get people. Can you speak to that? And we're talking about how in every actuary, every number, every statistic, it's well known that, quote, liberals and trendies don't give to charity. They steal more often because they're not true liberals. Gary Heben, and I want to take some phone calls. You want to speak to that, my friend?
Yeah. You know, it was always amazing to me that when you look at the giving of these people that are supposed to be served, you know, the Democrats, Joe Biden is a great example. The 2 years before he was elected vice president, he earned $600,000 a year and gave a total of $75 a year to charity. And Obama gave less than 1% to charity. And yet
they're all known that none of them, Hillary, Obama, don't give tips. They treat people like crap.
Yeah.
When it's not on camera. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. You know, evangelical Christians average 10% giving. Normal Christians about 8%, and I think the number for liberals is 4%.
Or even lower. I mean, there's a statistic. Poorer conservatives more generous than wealthy liberals. New study. Yeah. Liberals are 6 times more likely to steal and 6 times more likely not to give, but to claim they give.
Yeah. It's you know, there's the facts. And, you know, I
just feel compelled to give.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have a cargo plane and I feed 10,000 children in Haiti every day.
That's why I brought it up. I know you've given most of your money to charity.
Yeah. And I found this out that 94% of the money donated to the Clinton Fund for Haiti, 94% of it was spent on the Clintons.
I was about to say, the media said 55, but now it's coming out. Let's.
No.
But it's okay because she smiles and says,